It takes a ton of money to get a sealed Pokemon business off the ground. I've been asked this question twice in the last 2 weeks. The question was, how do I start up my Pokemon business side hustle, get distribution, and launch myself? So, count how many times I say so in this video, guys. So, this question was asked to me by two people. One established collector. He has a YouTube channel. I've known him for a while. He rips packs on his YouTube channel. He's streamed a little bit. He's done some pack rips before. He's kind of a established social media presence. And this social media guy, he has a job. He has a store. He currently sells Pokemon cards. He just doesn't have distribution yet. The other guy, second guy, graduating from high school, going on to trade school. Bit of a ripper. Loves ripping. Would love to be able to make Pokemon part of his side hustle. And I gave both of these guys very different advice. The person who has an established career, has done the social media aspect of Pokemon, has sold cards, knows what it costs to move cards. I gave him the details. I told him, track every penny you have. Make sure you have a good sales history before you apply to distribution. Make sure that your social media presence looks great, because truthfully, distributors do look at that. Make sure you have an established business. Make sure you have a HST number. Make sure you're going to have a lot of money. I'll get to that in a second. The second guy, the guy who's graduating from high school, going on to trade school, what I told him is do not start a Pokemon side hustle. Build your collection. Learn to buy and sell. Learn to buy low, sell high. Learn what cards are going to grow in value. I told him do not try to start his Pokemon business now. Focus on his education. Get his trade established. Go and get some business courses so that he can start his own business for his trade when his time comes. I told him that Pokemon business is extremely expensive to start. And so many other YouTubers would agree with me. You need to invest a ton of money to start a Pokemon business. And when I say ton of money, I'm talking a good amount of money. Kai and I started this business, and I did not realize how much it would end up costing. The reason it costs a lot of money is because you want to grow. Growing costs money. And I'll explain that in 1 second. So, back to the established guy. I recommended that he focus on flipping. Buy low, sell high. Buy collections, break them up, sell them individually. He has a web store. He has like a Shopify store already. He has a YouTube channel. I recommended that he focus on flipping aspect of the hobby while he establishes himself, so that when the time comes to apply to a distributor, he's able to sort of impress upon the distributor that he'll be able to have a nice, fat, juicy account for that distributor. I told them to keep buying deals, keep buying inventory that is very liquid, and sell it. Because when you get a deal with a distributor, your choice of what to buy becomes very limited. And when I say that, when you're buying from a distributor, you're sort of stuck only really buying what you're allocated. I mean, sure, you can go to their website and pay tons of money for different products, but most of the distributor products, they're going to be at market. Sometimes it's even cheaper to buy from another store than it is to buy from a distributor. So I told them to think about that. What I told them is think about Japanese. Japanese is a segment of the market that people love. People love Japanese. But people are worried. People cannot find a way to get Japanese at a reasonable price. The way to get Japanese at a reasonable price is to find your guy in Japan and buy in bulk. Buy 20 booster boxes. Save on the shipping. You're still going to pay taxes, of course. Save on the shipping. So I told them to look at Japanese. As a retailer, establish that you can sell Pokemon cards excel to Japanese. Build up a sales history that makes it compelling for the distributor to grant you the privilege of an access to English product. Work on socials, I told them. Work on the networking aspect of being a store, who you are, your reputation in the industry. I told them to look at establishing local buyers because, truthfully, local is the only way to go. Grow slow. Gather capital, because when you get distribution, it takes a lot of money to grow. Track it like a business. Track every penny that you spend, every penny that you get in, and be really confident that when you're ready to switch to having distribution, that you know what things cost to sell, you know how easy it is or difficult to sell Pokemon product, and you can convince that distributor that you're a worthy account to take on, even if you're just having them as an online business. The guy who's just graduating from high school, I told him, stop trading in all your Pokemon cards. Start thinking about the cards that are going to gain value over time. Establish your career. Establish a career that gives you disposable income. Establish your retirement accounts. Establish your home, your place to live. Make sure everything is solid before you start looking at Pokemon as a side hustle. Take business courses. Know about revenue, know about taxes, know about cost of goods. Do all that fun stuff because it's going to help you even if you're doing a trade. If you can run a business for your trade, it's going to make it easier for you to run a business as a Pokemon retailer. Focus more on building knowledge. That's what I told them. Sell, buy, sell, flip. But it doesn't need to be business until you're able to really tackle the challenge that is Pokemon distribution. What the heck are you talking about? Pokemon is so easy to sell. No, Pokemon is not easy to sell. Let's say a distributor gives you access. Distribution. Life's going to be so easy. You realize that the distribution is a model by which the more you spend, the more you're allowed to buy. Which means your size as a Pokemon business is dependent on how much you've put into it. So let's say you're going to start out, okay, I have access. I'm going to buy $500 worth of cards. Let's say I'm able to get 3 Brilliant Stars booster boxes. I'm able to get 4 Brilliant Stars ETBs. And then, as you can guess, this is from experience, guys. I pay $500 for this. I get it. I put it on the website. Doesn't sell. What do you mean I can't just press a button and it sells? Doesn't sell. You need a reputation to sell Pokemon cards. All right. So I managed to hustle and bustle and I'm able to sell only 60%. So I sold 60% and I made some margins. I sold at a 20% margin. So I have $360 back from my original $500 I spent. I'm already in the red. First release, I'm in the red. Okay, this is discouraging. I now owe more than what I have when I buy. So maybe I'll get more product. So I wait around and the next release, I get a bunch of lunchbox tins. I get a bunch of Morpeko V boxes. I spend another $500. And guess what? I hustle and I bustle and I can only sell 60% of those. I spend $500. I sell a little bit of the Brilliant Stars I bought earlier. My inventory grew, but I'm in the red. This is what happens when you have distribution. The more you grow, The more you add to how big you are, the more you spend. And you just can't press a button and zap, makes it go away, makes it sell. Pokemon is not that liquid. You're going to sell most of it. On release, it's exciting, it's adventurous, and people will buy. But as you continue, stuff starts sticking. You end up with things sticking on your website. But I want to grow. I want to be able to buy more than one case or 2 booster boxes. So you grow. Next time you order, you're allowed to order a little bit more. My allocation's a little higher. I'm able to spend $1,000 this time. Okay, I got $1,000 worth of product. What do I do? I'm going to try to sell it all, but it doesn't all sell. So now you have some of your Brilliant Stars, some of your Morpeko V boxes, which Morpeko V. And now you got all this, Astral Radiance booster boxes that you need to sell. You grew your allocation. You're allowed to buy more. And is that a decent rate, right? But you're still in the negative, right? You haven't made any money left yet. Your revenue has increased. You bought more. You sold more. But you haven't made any money because you still owe more even from previous distributions, but you still owe more when this bill from distribution comes in. So that's what it's like. The longer you grow as a Pokemon as a side hustle, the longer you try to increase your distributions, the more money you have to spend, you have to put into it. Everybody wants to grow. You want to be at the point where, yes, I can get a case here and sell a case there. It takes time. Until you decide, okay, this is big enough for me, you keep growing. You're going to keep going in the hole. And yes, you're going to have some releases, like oddly, Pokemon Go was very successful for me. But you're going to have some releases where it goes very well. You're able to sell a lot of it. You're able to make more money than you spent at distribution. But then some releases, some product releases, you're going to end up with a battle deck. And all of your loyal customers that you've established, they don't want to buy a battle deck. So now you have battle decks sitting on your counter, sitting on your inventory. So if you run the numbers long term, you start to notice that only when you stop growing at a level that you want do you start making any money, that you start having returns. If you stop buying from distribution, stop investing in your business, well, you can start getting some returns. You end up having more money than you spent. And it takes a long time to recover. So that's pretty much how distribution works. You have to spend a lot to get to where you want to be. So the advice, and of course there's other things, right? You got to pay for your website. You got to pay for your payment services. Every payment service, PayPal, credit cards, they all take their cut. You got to pay for ads. Got to pay for shipping, which is a huge cost in Canada. Got to pay for taxes, and of course, your time. This is all running numbers based on you just liking to fulfill orders. It takes a long time when you're running Pokemon as a side hustle to actually make money. That's why I said to the first guy to understand what he's getting into, understand that it's going to cost a lot of money. And that's why I said to the second guy, don't do it. Don't think that you're going to run a business and you're going to make money, because you're not ready. You don't have the capital to invest all this money yet. So yeah, guys, what do you guys think? Am I wrong?